Okay, once again, good morning to all. In previous session, we looked into IPR, Industrial Policy Resolution, and also started looking into the Infosys case study. So today we'll look into the Infosys case study. Okay, just I will go through the from the beginning just to make a small review. Okay, Infosys is founded by N.R. Narayan Murthy and his colleagues in 1981, and it is the first company which got listed in the Nasdaq stock market, that is a US stock market, and it has development centers and offices all over the world, especially located in North America and Europe region, and as well as the Asia region. So these are the vision mission of the company. One thing about the Infosys is it focuses more on the client relationship, and it tries to exceed the client expectations all the time, maintains the quality, then focuses on the integrity and the transparency, which are the main strengths of the Infosys. These are the different milestones that Infosys has achieved. Infosys in 1981, it started with just a very small capital of US dollars 250, and today it is one of the top IT companies, not only in the India, all over the globe. It is recognized as a very well-known IT industry which provides a quality services and quality products. These are the different milestone. In 2000, it reaches 200 million US dollar revenue. In 2001, in 1 year, it doubles its revenue to $400 million. And in 2002, it is around $500 million. In 2003, it establishes the subsidiaries in China and Australia. In 2006, it celebrates 25 years, and its revenue reaches to 2 billion US dollars, and employees grow to 50,000, more than 50,000 employees. In 2007, in 1 year, it could be able to achieve a increase in the revenue of 1 billion, so total revenue of 3 billions with more than 70,000 employees. It in 2010, it revenue reached 5 billion with almost 1 lakh employees. And in 2011, Narayan Murthy hands over chairmanship to KV Kamath, and Infosys crosses 6 billion revenue mark, employee strength grows to 1,30,000. These are the different sectors Infosys has provided the services. Aerospace and defense, airlines, you can see like almost every sector Infosys has its footprint. Energy sector, financial services, healthcare, high tech, publishing, logistics, and distribution, life science. So it provided services. It is providing service in many sectors. And this is the growth from 2003 to 2012. This is the income, and this is the profit after the tax. If you see year on year, continuously its income and its revenue has increased. Okay, this is the revenues in 2010, 11, 12. So these revenues are in crores. So in 2012, it is revenues are 33,734 crores, and the net income is around 8,316 crores. And this is the revenue breakup. If you see the what are the different areas Infosys is getting the revenue, and if you divide that, you can see the 45% of the revenues is coming from the application development and the maintenance. So maintenance that involves support work. So application development is the predominant, almost you can say 50% of the revenue comes from the application development and maintenance, and 24% comes from the consulting services and package implementation. And if you see all other, the next one is the 7%, which is comes from the product engineering uh, services. And if you see, there are other surveys, majority, like three-fourth of the revenue comes from the application development and consulting services and package implementation. And other services that are provided are, this is the business process management, then infrastructure management, system integration, testing services, and other services, and also the products that Infosys has developed. And this is the strategy, how Infosys has a delivery model, global delivery model. Whenever it has a client, most of the revenue comes from the US and the Europe region. Okay, so for that, what they have done is they have development center in the different time zones according to the client location. They will have a and the reason for having a development centers in the different time zone is to provide 24 into 7 work hours, right? 24 into 7, the project be any project, any client project is being worked upon continuously on a 24-hour basis. Means the work of that particular client, whatever the project Infosys is doing for that particular client, will not stop. One development center according to time zone, so it leverages the time zone. So whichever is like a time zone which is closest, and also which is cost effective. Some of the countries like South American countries like Brazil, it offers a relatively competitive prices. So they will have a development center in such regions, and they leverage the time zone and make sure that the work is getting 24 into 7. When work is getting 24 into 7, this is the strategy that they apply for the delivery. So what they do is, on client location, wherever is the client located, whether it is in a US location or a European location, these are the activities that are carried out on site, means in the client location. So what are the activities that are carried out? Analysis and planning. Whenever they get a new project, the analysis and the planning is done on site. High level design, very high level design is done at the client site. User interface design, this is the most important thing, is the reason being, the user interface design they are doing at the client side, so that they can interact with the client. So on on site, you have access to the client time, so you will present those user interfaces designs, the uh, UI to the user. You get the approval, right? What kind of changes you want. It is relatively easy for the on-site team to communicate with the business team, and you get the approval. Project coordination, so all the activities that are required for to complete the project, that is project coordination, is done on the client side. On-site testing, there is some level of testing that is done on the on-site. And the implementation, these are the things that are done on the client location. And once the project is successfully completed and it is deployed, that is post implementation support. Post implementation support, they will provide the rapid reaction support. What is the rapid reaction support is, whatever the support requirement which has a highest priority, means it is a very emergency support. Emergency support will be done by the team which is at the client location. And whatever the support that can wait for like 8 hours or 24 hours, like bug fixes and any other small enhancement, that will be done by the offshore development center. So what are the other activities done by the offshore development center as far as the project is concerned? Project management, overall project management, detailed design. The client location team will do the high level design. So this the team at the offshore development center will do the low level design or a detailed design. Then they will do the coding, then they will do the testing. Testing unit includes unit testing, integration testing, all kinds of testing will be done. And on site, most of the time they will do a integration testing, and some level of a black box testing. Then documentation, whatever the documentation that needs to be prepared as part of the project deliverables, those will be done at the offshore development center. And once the project is implemented, okay, after the implementation, post implementation support, the offshore development team is going to do the bug fixes. If there are any bug fixes after the post implementation, those work will be carried out. Warranty support, anything that is part of the warranty and that involves the support, that is taken care of by the offshore development center. And the regular maintenance, whatever the regular maintenance activity that has to be carried out in order to make sure that everything is working properly, that is taken care by the offshore development center. So this is the business model or the delivery model that Infosys uses. So projects are divided into components, are executed independently and concurrently at client side and partly at the development sector. So this is the normal design that every company, every organization which are in the IT sector follow. They divide the project into different components, and they will check which components can be done parallelly, and which has to be done serially, which activities can be done independently. According to that, the work will be distributed, okay, among the client side and the development center. The components are then integrated into high quality robust solutions. Once the components are built by different development centers, then the integration will be done. The components are joined together, that is the integration. Development centers that are spread across different countries allow Infosys to leverage time zones, so it can have a 24-hour workday. So I explained about this 24 because people are in different time zones. It can leverage those time zones and make sure that the project work is getting done at 24-hour. Okay, means the project work will be done continuously. What is the advantage of that is they can quickly deliver the things. Suppose if on a normal development basis, which goes on a 8-hour work per day, then let us say if it takes 6 months to complete, if you use the 24-hour work model, the speed would be like 3 times. If it gets completed in 6 months, with the 24-hour work per day, it will get completed in 2 months. So that is the strategy that Infosys uses. By this model, project managers are ensured of total control. Strategic alliance. Infosys has alliance with all the major companies, including all this: Oracle, Microsoft, Siebel, Intel, Sun. Sun is taken over by the Oracle, SAP, TIPCO, Supply Chain, Yantra. Okay, these are the main companies. Informatica, IBM, Pinnacle. So these are the companies with which Infosys has a strategic alliance. So what are the strength, weakness, and opportunities and threats for the Infosys? This is a SWOT analysis. If you see the strength, proven global delivery model. So the kind of a delivery model that employs, which gives a 24-hour work day, it is very successful, and because of that, it becomes the strength of the particular company. So using this 24-hour workday model, it can easily complete the projects well on time. Suppose if there is any need for a particular project to be completed on a urgency basis, Infosys would be the first choice for all the clients. Commitment to superior quality and process execution. So one of the thing I told about Infosys is the quality. They always ensure that they have the superior quality, so client will be very happy with the kind of a quality products that they get from the Infosys. And a process execution. strong brand and long-standing client relationship. So this is Infosys has a very good brand value now. So by the name of Infosys, we can think of project completing on time with the greatest quality, and Infosys has maintained a very long relationship with the client. Some of their clients are from the inception of the Infosys, so it maintains a good relations, very long relationship with the client. That is their strength. Status as an employer of choice. So, Infosys is a employer of a choice, so that gives a good talent to flow to Infosys, and they can contribute in such a manner that it will bring a lot of credibility to the Infosys. Innovation and leadership. So that is another strength. Weaknesses: excessive dependence on US for revenues, 67% of the revenues from the USA. So this is one of the weakness, because 67% most of its clients are from US, and majority of the revenue comes from the US. Why this is a weakness is, any policy change in IT sector and in US, okay, it will have a major impact on, because it has a dependency of one region. Any policy changes in that region will greatly impact the company in terms of the revenues. Weak player in domestic market. So the presence of Infosys in the domestic market, that is India, it is their market share is very very less. Only 1% of the revenue from India, low compared to its peers. So if you compare with TCS or Wipro or HCL, their market share, domestic market share, is much better compared to Infosys. That is the weakness. So this particular weakness itself is it is a opportunity as well. Low R&D spending as compared to the global IT companies, only 1.3% of the total revenue. So another weakness of the company is the amount of investment that is done in the R&D is very very less. If you compare with companies like Google, then Amazon, Facebook, or any other big companies, they heavily invest on the R&D. That is how they come up with the very new products, and that is how they are able to get a larger market shares. And what are the opportunities for Infosys? Domestic market is set to grow by 20%. So there is a growth in the domestic market. So they have to focus on that, and they have to go for a bigger market share in terms of a domestic market. They should uh, put in strategy where they can increase their market share in the domestic market. Expanding into new geographies, Europe, Middle East, etc. Since their footprint is predominantly on the United States of America, they should look for the new geographies like Europe and Middle East and other areas. Infosys is cash rich, acquiring companies to increase the expertise in consultancy, KPO, and package implementation capabilities. So, since the company is cash rich, okay, it has cash reserves, it can acquire the companies, okay, which will help in bringing in more richness in the areas of consultancy. KPO is nothing but a knowledge process outsourcing and package implementation capabilities. Opening offices and development centers in cost advantage countries. So cost advantage countries is the countries where the cost of setting up a development center and the amount of salary that is paid is relatively less. So if it opens a development center in such region, it can bring down the cost. And what are the threats? The economic environment, pricing pressure, and rising wages in the India and overseas. This is the threat for like almost all the IT companies. Pricing pressure. The pricing pressure is from the competition, because competition is so intense. They are the pricing is very very competitive. So that pricing pressure will be always there. And rising wages in India and overseas. So the amount of wages that is paid is constantly increasing in India as well as in overseas countries. Intense competition in the market for technology services could affect the cost advantage. Okay, because of there is a lot of competition. Whatever the cost advantage that Infosys has, the margin would be keep on reducing. So that is another threat. High dependency on small number of clients, and the loss of any one of the major clients could significantly impact the business. First thing is it has a major footprint in the US market, and also in the US market it has a few number of clients who are major clients. Okay, if there is any change in any of the companies, if they lose any of those one of those clients, the it will have a huge impact on the business and the revenues. And currency fluctuation, it will impact all the IT companies. The way the currency fluctuates, according to that the company will have either it could be advantages or it could be disadvantage. That is another threat. Generic strategies to maintain low cost advantage. They have opened offices in Czech Republic, Mauritius, Poland, Philippines, Thailand, and Mexico. So to achieve this low cost advantage, they have opened up in countries where the cost is relatively less, and invested in developing training centers, improved quality capabilities. So CMM level 5 company, low cost global delivery model, 24 by 7 model, focus on quality, customer relationship management, and timely delivery. So those are the key factors of the Infosys. So its strategy is always on the one is 24 into 7 model, giving greater quality, maintaining the customer relationship, and the on-time delivery. These are the different strategies that are used by Infosys. Market penetration strategy. Current markets, mostly it is US and Europe. Current products are BPO. BPO is business process outsourcing. KPO, as I told you, it is knowledge process outsourcing consultancy services. Okay, in different areas: BFSI, manufacturing and retail, and software product, financial products. So recommendation is most large clients in US and Europe are cutting costs. Infosys need to be more aggressive on cost and quality front, because the client is more aware of the kind of a pricing that happens. So they are cutting costs that is going to affect. So uh, accordingly, Infosys has to change its strategy. Result of strategy unlikely to yield good results. Then market development strategy. New market, what are the new markets? India domestic market, because their presence is very less, hardly 1%. Then Middle East, Australia. These are the current products that Infosys has. Recommendation is, since these are the fast developing IT market, Infosys needs to paradigm shift in the focus from US, Europe market to these markets. So if they use this strategy, it will yield good results, because with current product, these are the good markets, because these are the emerging markets, and already Infosys has a proven capability in this particular area. Product development strategy. Consultancy and package implementation services in relatively growing sector, especially healthcare, life science, and aviation sector, and KPO service. That is the area it should focus, and it should come up with a product in that particular area. Recommendation: concentrate on building a expertise in these domain by strategic uh, acquisition, so which will likely give a good results. Diversification, it has to go for the new markets: India, Middle East, Australia, new packages, right? Consultancy and package implementations in different sectors, especially healthcare, life science, and aviation, and focusing on the KPO services. So if that strategy, if Infosys uses, then there is a good market share in the these developing countries. it can support it with the current capability, and with the new capability it can expand its businesses. So this is the okay. The primary purpose of the corporate leadership is to create wealth legally and ethically. Okay, that is the statement by Mr. Narayan Murthy. So that completes the Infosys case study, and we will see the Microsoft case study as well. Please hold on. Okay, we'll look into the Microsoft case study, and this is uh, uh, this particular slides are prepared by uh, LD Metushi, and a student is Zakaria Albarodi. So it is from the Canadian Institute of Technology. We will look into the Microsoft case study, and Microsoft, as you know, it is the a company which is founded by Mr. Bill Gates and his colleague, and it was started as a operating system company. They worked on developing a operating system. Initially, they started with a DOS, MS DOS. It was called as a MS DOS. MS DOS stands for Microsoft Disk Operating System. That is how they started their business in the operating system software, and slowly they developed their business. And now Microsoft has many other products apart from the operating system. They are into many other different domain. This Microsoft is a US based company, and we will look into this particular case study. So here we will look into the introduction, what is the history and development of Microsoft, what is the vision and mission of Microsoft. We will do the SWOT analysis of the Microsoft, Porter's five forces analysis, capabilities and core competences, corporate and business level strategies, strategic partnership, and then recommendations. It's a, as I told, it is a US-based company, American public multinational corporation, and it is established in April 4, 1975, with a vision by Harvard dropout. If you know, like Bill Gates is a Harvard, he is a dropout, to see a PC on every desktop. That is the idea with which he started, and it is headquartered in Redmond, that is in Washington, USA. Microsoft is listed as the Fortune 100 company. These are the different products. As I told you, it started as a operating system company. Then they diversified their businesses. They came up with many other product. These are the different products they have. Operating system is their core competency. Then office suites, which helps with the all the office work like MS Word, Microsoft Excel, um, Microsoft presentation. So many softwares related to the office management. Then gaming softwares, Xbox, then Explorer, Internet Explorer, search engine. They created a search engine. Bing is the search engine that is created by the Microsoft. Then they created the mail servers, okay, which manages the emails. Then many security softwares, then server softwares, Visual Studio, and calling devices. These are the different products that are created by the Microsoft. So Microsoft started in 1975 on 4th of April. Paul Allen and Bill Gates, childhood friends with a passion in computer program, they started the company. They were seeking to make a successful business in utilizing their shared skills. So whatever the skills they have, using that particular skill, they wanted to start one successful business. They developed the interpreter on a simulator. That is the first thing they developed. They demonstrated the interpreter to MITS in New Mexico in March 1975. The officially established Microsoft on 1975, with Bill Gates being the chief executive officer. 1984 to 1994, Windows and Office. So started developing a new OS with IBM in 1984. Released a graphical extensions for MS-DOS, Microsoft Windows. Okay, so earlier, if you know, MS-DOS was like it did not had any UI or a graphics. It was like a command based. The disk operating system that they created was it was a like a command line operating system, similar to what you see the Linux or Unix command prompt. It was similar to that. Moved its headquarters to Redmond on February 26, 1986. March 13, the company went public, so it became a publicly listed company. Microsoft is listed in Nasdaq. Microsoft introduced its Office suite, Microsoft Office, in 1990. In 1990, they came up with a Microsoft Office consisting of MS Word, MS Excel, and all those things. From 1995 to 2005, Internet and the 32-bit era. On May 26, 1995, Microsoft expanded its product line into computer networking and World Wide Web. So they expanded their business into with growth in the internet and the growth in the World Wide Web. They entered the computer networking and the World Wide Web business. Released Windows 95 on August 24, 1995. So whatever the present operating system you see, Windows 10, uh, they started. Windows 95 was the one major release, and it had a very good compared to its previous version. It had a very good UI, and it attracted many new users to use the new operating system, that is Windows 95. Then Bill Gates handed over the CEO position on 13th January 2000 to Steve Ballmer and took the role of a chief software architect. 2006 Vista and cloud computing. So it came next version of the Windows after the 95 was a Windows Vista, and it released in 2007. Windows Vista was not very successful, but it came with a lot of new features. Bill Gates retired from his role as a chief software architect in June 27, 2008. And on February 2009, Microsoft opened the first retail chain of Microsoft branded retail stores in Scottsdale, Arizona. So they came up with a retail store. Uh, the same day the first store opened, Windows 7 was officially released to the public. So that is when Windows 7 released, and Windows 7 was very stable and a very successful operating system. And after the Windows 7, currently they have the Windows 10 operating system. Mission and vision at Microsoft, our mission is to enable people and business throughout the world to realize their full potential. We consider our mission statement a commitment to our customers. That is the mission statement. And the vision is diversity and inclusion are integral to Microsoft vision, strategy, and the business success. SWOT analysis. What are the strengths of a Microsoft? brand loyalty and reputation. So Microsoft has become the greatest brand because of the brand. There is a lot of brand loyalty is like people once they use the Microsoft, they tend to use only Microsoft. So that is what you see the brand loyalty. Whenever you like a certain product, okay, it is not only for the example of Microsoft. For that matter, even in everybody's lives, whatever the product we like, we stick to that company because we like that quality. That is called as a brand loyalty, and Microsoft has a greatest brand loyalty and reputation. And it is a Microsoft operating system is very easy to use softwares. Not only their operating system, all other their products are very easy to use. The UI, the kind of a UI they use, are it is very user friendly. Tie-ups with hardware industry, they have tie-up with all the hardware manufacturing, the laptop and the computer manufacturing companies. So they by having those tie-up, I would say like a majority of the laptops, they come up with a Windows operating system preloaded. Robust financial performance, they have very good financial performance. Their revenues keep on growing. They are coming with new products. They invest in a lot of money in R&D, come up with a new product. That is how financially they are very strong. Acquisition of a Skype, so that is one of the strength. By acquiring the Skype at the right time, they entered that particular business, which gave them a lot of benefits. What are the weaknesses? Poor acquisitions and investments. Some of the acquisitions that are done by Microsoft were not very fruitful. The kind of investment they did, it was not very fruitful. Dependence on hardware makers. One thing about the Microsoft is the Microsoft doesn't venture into hardware. It always dependent on the hardware makers. So that is a weakness. And PC markets have matured. So what is the meaning of that is PC markets are relatively matured. The kind of a growth that is seen in the PC market is relatively less. They have reached the maturity level. Then slow to innovate. So they are very slow in innovation. That is their weakness. What are the opportunities? Cloud based services. Whatever the products that Microsoft has are very good products, and that they can provide a cloud solution for those products. Mobile advertising is a opportunity for the Microsoft. Mobile device industry. Microsoft did venture into mobile devices, softwares, but did not see that kind of a success that were seen by the other companies. So that is definitely an opportunity for the Microsoft. Growth through acquisition. By having a right kind of a acquisition, it can have a rapid growth. What are the threats? Intense competition, changing consumer behavior. Okay, the changing consumer behavior is always a threat for all the companies, because you have to constantly monitor how the behavior of the consumer, and accordingly you have to change your products. Open source projects. So this is the biggest challenge. Microsoft, all the products are on a license based. Microsoft doesn't offer any open source. So now in market there are a lot of open source products are there for any kind of a product that is developed by the Microsoft. There is some open source product available. For example, Office Suite, there is open source available. So that is the biggest threat for the because there is a trend by many companies to move away from the licensed product to open source products, okay, in order to reduce the cost. Potential lawsuits. So one of the biggest problem with the Microsoft is whenever they are doing some kind of a new work and R&D work, there is always a clash with the patent. Okay, patents by holding by the other companies. So there will be many lawsuits that are against Microsoft. That is a that is a potential threat for the Microsoft. Okay, rivalry. Okay, barriers to entry, supplier power, buyer power, threat of substitutes. So those are the different threats. Threats of substitutes. If you see this threats of substitute, brand loyalty is high, switching cost is high, close relationship is high. So what is this threat of substitutes is like if anybody wants to substitute the Microsoft products with some other products, then the switching cost is very high. Okay, bargaining power of buyers, it is also switching cost is high, buyer concentration is also high. Then bargaining power of suppliers, it is very low. Okay? Bargaining power is very low because there are many suppliers that are available in the market. So bargaining power becomes very low when there are a lot of competitors. New entrants, cost of entry is very high, economies of scale is very high, brand loyalty is very high, product differentiation is very high. So these are the challenges for the new entrant. Capabilities and core competencies, tangible resources, intangible resources, human resources in those areas. Cash reserve, one of the biggest advantage of Microsoft is it's a cash rich company. Around $67 billion cash reserves it is having. So whenever a company is cash rich, it is helpful for the acquisition. It can go for the new acquisitions. Operating revenue in 2003 financial year, it is around 86 billion, ranks 34th in the Fortune 500. Financial leverage, not highly leveraged with a leverage ratio of 0.79 in 2014. Property and equipment, it has 9.9 billion before depreciation expenses. Distribution channels and customers, including online vendors and retailers. So those are the tangible resources it has. Intangible resources, R&D, 1,100 people are working there, and it has spent about $9 billion in 2014. Intellectual property, 40,000 patents and many other forms of intellectual property. So if you see here, in Microsoft is holding about 40,000 patents, right? That is an intangible resource. Fifth most valuable brand name in the world. Human resources, attract and retain the best talent in the information technology business. So getting into Infosys is the most challenging, and Microsoft is very good at holding a good talent with providing a very good benefits, so to retain those people. Educated, dedicated and committed employees. Capabilities, financial control, capacity for decision making, continuous improvements, brand management, ability to identify, respond to the market trends and adapt, engineering and technical know-how, research capability. So these are the different capabilities that Microsoft has. And what are the strategies that Microsoft follows at corporate and business level? Uh, Microsoft has a divisional organization structure, then customer service staff, research and development and sales, Windows and live Windows group. Then server softwares are there, online services, Microsoft businesses, entertainment and devices, investment and global expansion throughout the world. So this is the global expansion. They are expanding everywhere. So they started, if you know, they started the R&D center in India as well. That is how they are trying to expand globally. So these are the different divisions. They make their revenues. If you see business division and servers and tools, different kinds of servers that Microsoft sells, Windows. So if you see the operating system, earlier it was predominantly operating system. Now they have a their revenues is diversified into many different areas. These are the entertainment and devices and online services. So worldwide desktop operating system market share 2014. So if you see here, Windows 7 is about 50% of all the operating system market. And if you see, all these are different versions of the Windows. 8.1, Windows 8, Windows Vista, Windows XP, and Windows 7. So if you consider all of them, it would be more than 80% market share they have. Involves driving and expanding innovation to achieve market excellence. That is their strategy. In 2009, they spent more than 1 billion working with over 1,200 suppliers that are women, minority, and veteran owned. So they are spending this kind of a money in different categories of the people. Strategic partnership. It has a partnership with Visio, NAVision, Acontiv, Fast Search, Skype, Yammer, Nokia. Okay, this Nokia was not the. Some of these partnership were not very successful. One among that is the Nokia. Software alliances with HP, longest standing alliance and of its kind in the industry, 25 years. If you see all the HP laptops that HP computers as well as laptops, they come up with a Windows operating system. So they had the longest alliance with the HP. Microsoft won partner one alliance partner of the year 2013 by HP. Then IBM is its alliance. The benefit of alliance is that all part of our solution hardware, software, and middleware will install quickly. Then it has an alliance with the Dell. Okay, Dell is the major company in the manufacturing of the laptop and computers and the server hardwares. These are the recommendation. Mobile first, cloud first should be the strategy. Product innovation and invention. Reduce poor investment. So some of the investments were not good, which are done by the Microsoft. So it has to check on the kind of investment it does. Strengthen strategic alliances. Cut down unprofitable products. Microsoft Research Division. So that completes the case study of Microsoft.